Welcome to the show, Lemonade with the Seth brothers. When life throws you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. And tonight, we're going to be making tons and tons of lemonade. In this show this evening, I'll be talking about a concept called the first generation mindset. What that means to me and what that should mean to you, and how it's relevant to you, even if you're not first generation person in America or in the business. So I came to America about 20 years back, and most people think being a first generation American, that's exactly what first generation mindset is. But actually, it applies to anyone or everyone who's first in the family to do something. You could be the first one in your family to step out and go to college, first one in your family to start a business, or first one to quit corporate America. When you're the first one to do something, the challenges you face, what the hurdles you go through, those are a blessing for your kids or grandkids who take away your business. You could be a successful entrepreneur today, but the steps you took to quit your job, which was your cushy job or 9 to 5, whether it was 1 year back, 10 years back, or 20 years back, the struggles you went through, the decision that you made, those decisions made are bringing you exponential success. But as you go down in generation from first one, second one, third one to fourth one, most people forget about those struggles that people go through. Let's tie these all things together. So we'll talk about first about coming to America. Guys listening into the show tonight, some of you are first generation American. You know exactly what you went through when you first came to US, whether you came here to work, whether you came to study, or to do your business. When you were new, the challenges you faced, you exactly know the struggles you had. I, for example, came to America about 20 years back. I came here to go to grad school to get my master's. But I remember going to the US consulate in India, standing in line for hours all night to wait for my turn to be interviewed. And when I was interviewed, the person behind the counter could have easily said, Kunal, you're no good. You cannot go to America. But I'm blessed. I was able to reach America. But when I came to America in 2001, I knew one thing for sure. If I've had the privilege of coming to America as a first generation American, I'm going to make the best of that opportunity. And making the best meant every day I would wake up hungry and wanted to get the best of my life. I came here to go to college. Now, as an international student, what we pay in tuition fee is very expensive. I mean, it's not cheap to come to America to study over here. But when I came in, I'm blessed. My parents were kind enough to say, Kunal, you're going to America. Here's your tuition fee for the first year. And I said, thank you. And of course, I came with that money. But the landed in America, I said, I'm not going to touch that money. I had the first generation mindset. I'm going to do whatever it takes to find success for myself. I went door knocking to every department, every professor's door in my university. I went even to the nursing school, to medical college, everywhere. And of course, I came here for my master's in marketing, which is in business school. But I had no business to go to nursing school. But I went there door knocking, and I asked every professor, hey, can I get an assistantship? Can I get an assistantship? Because as international students, when we come over here, if you get an assistantship in the university, your tuition fees waived, you also get some living expenses. So just a day or two before the semester started, I was blessed. I got assistantship in a department. I worked for 3 professors, and these professors gave me a lot of workload, but also had to keep my scores and credit score up. In time, I realized the values of not having the mindset of spending the money my parents had given me has made who I'm successful today. So as a young kid, I was 20, 21-year-old kid, and I had over $15,000, $18,000 given by my parents. But I said, I'm not going to touch that money. For the next 2 years, when I was in college, I would walk to school every day, grocery shopping, cook your own food, do all those things. Graduated, I was blessed. I got a job with a top consulting company, Deloitte in Houston. That's what brought me from LSU, Baton Rouge to Houston, Texas. When I came over here, first thing I did, I returned all the money back to my parents. Not because they needed it, not because they asked for it, because I want to make my own success story. I don't want the storybook to say, Kunal came to America with the financial success of his parents, and they made his life. If I'm going to accomplish something, I'm going to do on my own. And those are the values of first generation American I'm going to teach to my young kids, Krish and Rishi. They're 6 and 7 year old. Now they're young kids. All they care about are watching video games and playing on TV and doing all those things. But the values of knowing the struggles people go through when they come to America is unknown to second, third generation. Having an American citizenship is a blessing for those of us listening tonight. And those of us struggle to get that, we know what pains we go through. So student visa for me, then I got my work permit, which was H-1B visa. Then I got my green card. Then, of course, after several years, got my citizenship. But that path to success, getting legal citizenship in America, was not easy. Every day I would wake up, whether I was employed at Deloitte or moved to an oil and gas company, I want to make sure I was providing for the best of the opportunities for next few generations for me. And the mindset of having first generation mindset, which allowed me to save money and spend money when I had to spend, that's what brought the financial discipline, which to me is very simple. Most people, when they don't have money, they are in the position of having financial discipline because they don't have any money to spend. But financial discipline is about having the discipline and not spending money when you have money. So those of you listening tonight, what are you doing today to save for that rainy day? Rainy day could be another COVID-19 variant, could be another Harvey in Houston. What are you doing about that? But first generation mindset is powerful. You could be the first one in your family who went to college. Now, when you go to college, you will make sure you graduate in 4 years if you're going for undergrad. But if you look at the young kids going to undergrad college today who are second, third, fourth generation Americans, they take sometimes 5 years or even 6 years to graduate. Most time these kids don't even know what they should major in. And that's because either they're being funded by their parents or they have a federal loan to provide for their education. Now, when you have that kind of blessing given to you by your parents or by getting a student loan, you take it easy. You forget about what your parents, grandparents, someone in your family who went through when they were the first one to go to college. So my objective today is to reactivate your first generation mindset. If you're listening in tonight and you own a business in the Houston market, and अगर आपने business 10 साल पहले, 20 साल पहले या 30 years back start किया था, and you had this vision of passing on this business to your kids or to your grandkids, what are you going to do to make sure they had the same hunger and drive that you had when you started your own business? Because trust me when I say this, the kids who get business passed on to them, while they may be wired up to get more financial success, but they will never know the struggles they had. It's although you have to start from ground zero and build your own business empire. So if you're listening in tonight, you want to share your story about you being the first one in your family to come to America, first one in your family to start a business, or first one to even quit corporate America, then you got to call the studio tonight. Our number over here is 1-888-749-1035. Once again, the direct number for the studio over here is 1-888-749-1035. Share with the listeners tonight what struggles you had when you first came to America, struggles you had when you started your own business. Give you another example. When you are the first one to do something, the drive and hunger is incredible because guess what? You have no backup plan. There's no plan B. There's no safety net. And you know for a fact that if you don't put your best foot forward, especially coming to America, you are going to be shipped back to your home country. So when we come to U.S. to study on a student visa, which is F-1B, then you get 1 year of optional practical training, OPT. In that 1 year, you get to work for an employer, but they have to sponsor your work visa. And if they don't, guess what? Have to go back to your home country, wherever you came from. India se aaye hain, Pakistan se aaye hain, Bangladesh se aaye hain, jahan se bhi aaye hain. You have to go back. So that 1 year of graduating, you have to be acting as though you're an adult. And when I graduated, I was 21, 22-year-old kid. Well, I'm 43 now. But even at that age, I had to have the mental maturity, had to have the balance that, you know what do I need to do to have success? Because this opportunity given to me, coming to America, is a blessing. It truly is a blessing. And now that I made over here with the support of my mom and dad, I'm going to make sure that I do whatever it takes to leave the next generation of mine or next few generations of mine success. They're going to look back and say, wow, I'm glad daddy came to America when he was in 20s. So my philosophy is a lot of people look at what they want to be successful. For me, success means I want to leave a legacy for my kids. And legacy is one thing. It's not about how much money I leave for my kids or my grandkids in the bank. It's about what I want to be known for, what impact I'm making in the Houston market, what impact I'm giving back to the real estate industry in the Houston or Texas market. Those are things that wake me up every morning and I get charged up, excited at what difference is Kunal going to make today in the Texas market by bringing value and success to other people. In the last 5, 7 years, I've helped hundreds of new realtors get exponential financial success. Success to me means that if you are a realtor in the Texas market, you've got to earn at least $100,000. When I left corporate America in 2013, I was making close to $100,000, which in any corporate world is a lot of money. But when you are employed, that paycheck is dependent on the company doing well, you having a job tomorrow, and the variables in the market conditions, you never have control over them. So the first generation mindset is about taking control of your future, making sure that you have nothing that stands between you and your financial goals. And taking that risk is not easy. But once you have the clarity in your mindset that you are unstoppable and you have all the skill sets, guess what? Who stands between you and your goals? You and yourself. What nobody can take away from you is your education, your work experience, and your work ethic. Even if you fall once, you fall twice. But if we made it so far to come to America as a blessing, what we got to do next? Make the best of the opportunities. Back at home, आप चाहे इंडिया से हैं, पाकिस्तान से हैं, बांग्लादेश से हैं. India में realtors को, they call them property dealers. And they're not somebody who are respected in the market. They're looked at as somebody who's there to take advantage or take money from the buyer or seller. So the mindset of being in this business as a realtor in Texas market is not easy. In fact, when I was leaving corporate America in 2013, I went to my parents and said, listen, I'm thinking about leaving my cushy job, six-figure job, with all the benefits in corporate America and want to be a realtor. I said, Beta, are you sure? I mean, tum America, I went to college, got your master's degree, have all this certification. Why do you want to do that? I said, well, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is I may not be successful as a realtor, but if I fail, I can always go and get a job based on my education and background. It was the early mindset that I had that if I've made it so far, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get exponential success. Now, a lot of people in this time get into a mode which we call cruise control mode. चल रही है गाड़ी, क्या दिक्कत है? पैसे आ तो रहे हैं. 9 बजे उठे, ऑफिस गए, 5 बजे छुट्टी हुई, घर आए, समोसे चाय पी और फिर आराम से डिनर खाया, चिकन टिक्का मसाला, whatever you guys like. But see, here's where it is. अगर आप बैक होम होते इंडिया में, पाकिस्तान में, बांग्लादेश, जहाँ भी आप रह रहे हैं, and that lifestyle is probably acceptable. But if you had all the struggles and you made it over here, what's stopping you from taking the risk? What's stopping you taking the next level jump of building your empire, building your success? And most people are risk averse. They say, I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to take the risk. But what's the worst that can happen? It's a blessing that me and you guys listening tonight are healthy today. In the last 24 months, a lot of us, you know somebody, either it's your friend circle or family, somebody or the other did have an impact from COVID-19. Some people did fall sick and some people did die. We are blessed. We are healthy today and we're able to listen to the show tonight. Now that blessing, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to have the mindset that the lemons thrown at you are going to pull you down? You're going to fold your cards and put your head down? No. Here's what happens. Most people put their head down and do their job day after day, day after day, day after day. But they're never happy. They're never content. And they keep complaining and cribbing and crying about it. I don't like my boss. I don't like my office. I don't like my work environment. I don't like my sales goals. Well, who's stopping you? Quit your job and find a career that you can be successful in. Look at back your father, your grandfather, or your forefathers. Back in the day, the only way to get success was to actually go to the office, get a job, and get a paycheck. Today, with internet and with all the virtual platform we have, you could be working at home, generating exponential financial success, and getting income in your household. So what's stopping you for having the mindset? Have a cushy job, but on the side, start a side hustle, whatever that may be, with YouTube, Facebook. That's free branding, advertising opportunity. Who's stopping you? Whatever you do for a living, whether you are a store owner, gas station owner, what are you doing today to build your brand, to do what you have to do? So my definition of being successful is very, very simple. I have a 3-step formula. If you want to be successful in life, you have to be known. अगर लोग आपके बारे में जानते नहीं हैं, चाहे no matter what you do, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a cell phone store owner, whatever you do, if people do not know about you, they cannot do business with you. The simple thing is, you've got to get known. Now, when you get known, there are going to be some haters who will say, wow, I don't like the gut of this person. He or she's on Facebook all the time or YouTube or whatever it may be. So be it. You're not here to please everyone. Period. You're not here to please everyone. There are going to be haters, and there'll be some people who will like you. Now, from that population of people who like you, next thing is if you keep adding value in the market, talking to people effectively, some of them will trust you. If they like and trust you, eventually they'll say, you know what? You are a CPA, you're an accountant, or you're a realtor. Let me call you to do a transaction. Help me do more successful business. But to do that, to get known, is not easy. What I'm doing on the show tonight, I'm not selling you or convincing you to buy a home with me, with the Seth Brothers team, or do a transaction. No, it's almost of no relevance. It's about me adding value to the Houston market. On this show, Lemonade, we bring in guests who share about their struggles, their challenges, what they went through. One of our first early guests on this show was the owner and operator of Raja Sweets, the longest standing Indian sweet store in Texas market. Mrs. Resham Gahunia and her daughter Sharon Gahunia came on the show, and she shared with us what she went through as a first generation American, first one in her family who started a restaurant business in Texas market. She and her husband came 30, 40, 50 years back, opened up Raja Sweets in in Houston market on Hillcroft area. And over all these years, what the struggles she had when her husband passed away, she didn't even know how to drive a car. And in her 50s, she got a driving permit. The struggle she went through, building the business. She has a special needs daughter. Those struggles, nobody would know. People look and say, oh, wow, Raja Sweets, oh, they must be doing good. They've got this restaurant for the last 30, 40, 50 years. But people forget about what that lady went through to keep the business running during COVID-19, during Harvey, during the time when husband passed away. And those are the stories we share on this show on Lemonade with the Seth Brothers. Because if we share those stories and share with you the struggles more than the wins, you realize what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. And if you're thinking about quitting a job, you got to know about all the ups and all the downs that it takes to be successful. People like Mrs. Resham Gahunia are an inspiration to us in the market. They talk about their struggles, their wins. But today in the market, she is big in the community servicing, but also the food quality has not dropped one bit for the last 30, 40 years. Why is that? क्योंकि वो दिल से चाहती हैं उनके कस्टमर जब आए खुश होके जाएं. They get the best gulab jamuns and chum chum and all the mithai and everything. Why is that? Because she said, I'm not going to let the legacy of my husband die away. He was the one who started this restaurant, even if वो नहीं रहे. I will do whatever it takes to keep the restaurant running. And now her daughter, Sharon Gahunia, she had the same mindset. She said, I'm going to do whatever it takes. She has a full-time job. She works for United Airlines. But when she's not working there, guess where she's at? Behind the counter at Raja Sweets, because she saw at a young age her mother, father struggle through all those things. And it's a blessing that she was able to see them firsthand build a business from ground zero. What are you doing to demonstrate the hard work to your kids, to your grandkids? Do they even know what you went through when you opened your first store or first location? Probably not. And one day, you and I are going to be gone. And our kids, grandkids would not know what struggles you went through. That's why it's critical that you have to reactivate your first generation mindset. Again, it's not about just coming to America. It's about being the first one in your family to do something. Again, the number to call on the radio show tonight is 1-888-749-1035. Call the studio tonight. Share with the audience today what struggles you went through when you were the first one to come to America, or first generation person who quit their job or did something. We're going to take a quick break. When you come back, I'll unfold for you more strategies to get more success in 2022. You're listening into Lemonade with the Seth Brothers, and we'll be right back after a few messages. Welcome back to the show, Lemonade with the Seth Brothers. When life throws you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. It's all about taking the challenges, the downfalls, the struggles you've had, and making the best of it. Most uber successful people say failure is an option. Most people say, you know what? I don't want to fail. I don't want to fall. I don't have struggles because if I fall, I may not be able to uplift myself and get going again. But uber successful people say it's okay if I fail because when I fail, I'll get better and I'll come out much stronger and better. Taken as an example, Elon Musk, he has a first generation mindset. He's uber successful, but he has had more failures than wins in his life. But each time he failed or had struggles, he came back stronger and better. Even today, when Elon Musk is uber successful, he does not sit around and say, you know what, I accomplished a whole lot. Let me sit around and reap the benefits of being uber successful. But every day he wakes up. He wakes up with the mindset, what if today is my last day in America or on this earth or as a leader and owner of Tesla company? What if things are taken away from me? I'm going to do whatever it takes today to get uber successful, not just for myself, but for people who are surrounding him and for his next few generations. So first generation mindset is about waking up every morning, unemployed, hungry, with the mindset that things may be taken away from you. आप आज क्या करने वाले हैं? That's going to make you better for tomorrow. The uber successful people who have the first generation mindset, they don't sit on rewards and laurels from yesterday, last week or last month, what they accomplished. Every day they have a fresh start. And they look at everything with a positive mindset. They say, yes, I maybe did not get a contract or I did not get that deal, but so be it. What did I learn from that? And those same successful people pass that on as the recipe for success in their business. So if you're listening in tonight, I can promise you, whether you accept or not, you've had your own struggles. You've had your own failures. We have the latest, most recent thing happening at a global level, COVID-19. People have struggled and people did not have the means to pay for their bills or to have a job to pay for unemployment and all of those things. What did you do when those struggles came your way, when those lemons were thrown at you? As a business owner, we have a 7,000 square feet office in Sugarland. And during COVID-19, we were also shut down. Our monthly expense about $15,000 to $16,000 in rent. We have to pay every month, whether lights are on or lights are off. Now we had a choice during COVID-19 that, you know what, let's break the lease, let's walk away, and why pay all those bills? But we have a financial obligation to our family and the person who trusted us to lease their space. And we said, even if that means that we'll have less income to have disposable, and that means we have to pay our bills every month, we're going to do that. And that's why my business partner and so on made the decision. We're not going to back down. Whatever commitment we made a year back, we're going to continue paying the rent. Our office was closed, literally closed for almost 6-7 months. We all work from home. But when I was paying that rent every month, $15,000-$16,000 without stepping in the office for 5 or 6 months, every morning I would say, wow, that's an expense I'm getting no value out of. So what am I going to do today to generate more income, to hustle more? In the last 7 years, I've had a lot of success as a realtor, but during 2020, the peak of COVID time, in my career, I did the most number of open houses in the market. And the reason for that was, yes, my team member had concern. I would, of course, mask up, gloves, the sanitizer, did all those things. And I would stand at the door every Saturday, every Sunday, do open houses because I had to demonstrate to my team that, you know what, I'm here to support the team, support the staff, employees we had. We had payroll expenses. We had all the rents to pay. But having the first generation mindset, if I made it so far, this is not a failure. This is a lemon thrown at us. What am I going to do to make the best of it? And with that mindset, struggling every day, doing whatever we had to do, we gave the commitment to our team members and employees that we're not going to let you go. In fact, we had hired a few people during the same COVID time. It's a mindset. Those lemons thrown at us, the struggles were not failures. But when those same lemons are thrown at certain people, they look at them as struggles and they put their hands up and say, you know what, mujhse aur nahi hoga. And they give up and put their head down and go into the cave. That opportunity is for you to get up, stand up and say, what's the worst that can happen? If you're here in this country, you made it so far, what's the worst that can happen? You can always start from zero. Somebody in your family started from zero, whether it's you as a first generation American or your grandfather did. कोई ना कोई आपकी फैमिली में अमेरिका आया था with a whole lot of nothing. You are blessed if that was passed down to you. But if you had to start from zero today, would you do that? And if you could do that, what values are going to pass down to your kids? So again, it's all about having the mindset that you're unstoppable, that you have the mindset to be successful. And that's what uber successful people do. It's not about how much money they have in the bank, but how they make the best of the time every day. I had a packed busy day today. I mean, this is the first week of Jan. We're working through contracts, transactions, closing, CP, accounting. I mean, I'm getting bombarded with all the requests coming my way. I had a packed day. But again, I have a commitment that every Tuesday I'm going to be here in the studio sharing my insights, sharing my 2 cents with the listeners on the radio and also on Facebook. If I can say something on the radio tonight that impacts you, that gets you uplifted or gets you going, that's a huge win for me. It's not dollar for dollar for my time spent on a transaction or on a project. It's about what value I'm bringing. And that's one of the core reasons why people are successful in America. In America, we have a concept or culture of win-win attitude. And अगर आप back home चले जाइए, वहाँ पर होता है win-lose. अगर मुझे किसी transaction में या किसी dealing में जीतना है, person against you has to lose. And if he's winning, then I'm losing. And again, even in America, some of them have the win-lose attitude, but generally speaking, people say, what can I do to be successful, but lift people with me? I have a philosophy where when the tide water rises, all boats and all ships rise with that. I cannot say, well, I'm a bigger ship, I'm going to go higher in the tide and you stay low. It does not work like that. When the tide goes up, it goes up for everyone. So what are you doing today to lift the tide in your business, in your market, in your organization? Or if you work for a company, what are you doing to uplift things, uplift the attitude or mindset of people? And if you can master the art of uplifting people, having the positive attitude, success and money will come automatically. This past week, we had a big meeting in the office. This was an annual meeting. We went over our vision, production, goals. This past year, 2021, our team closed over 150 million in sales volume. Big production numbers, a lot of commission earned, a lot of success happened. But this past Monday, when we had the big office meeting, we had about 30, 40 people in the office. And I was leading the meeting, talking about the vision, goals, and I asked everyone a key question. I asked them, and I went around the room, I asked them, what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? And somebody said, well, I want to have so much money in the bank. Somebody said, I want to close so many deals as a realtor in 2021, in 2022. Somebody said, I want to have better work-life balance. Somebody said, you know what, I want to take a vacation. And all those things are relevant. But to be successful, there's a path to be successful. First is, you got to have clarity कि आप आज कहाँ पर हैं in terms of your success, your production, whatever it may be. You have got to have a good snapshot of where you're at today. Take an inventory of that. Once you know where you're at today, then you've got a plan for next, not 1 year, not 2 years, but next 1 decade or maybe 20 years. And then you work backwards. And that's what we talked about in our annual meeting on Monday. You got to have a long-term plan and then work backwards. When you have your plan, clarity, what success means to you, next is we all want financial success directly or indirectly, whether you are a realtor, accountant, cell phone owner, we all want financial success. Why do we wake up every morning and go to work? To get financial success, period. When you have financial success, then what next you want is financial independence. What is financial independence? That's about having adequate amount of money that you may create through passive income opportunities, that you can take vacations, you can do what you want to do, and you have some extra income to take it easy. But the final big step in anyone's success is to having financial freedom. So it's financial success to financial independence and then financial freedom. Financial freedom is about having abundance of financial success, abundance of opportunity, that money is flowing to you through all the hard work you've done in your past years, that you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. You want to take a vacation for a week? Go take a vacation. You want to go to Bora Bora for a month? Go to Bora Bora for a month. And that's what financial freedom is. So most people in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, most of them have this mindset ki kaam pe jao, ghar aao, and just live your life of a slave. We may have been slaves back there, but if you made it so far to America, get out of that slave mindset. Get out of the mindset you got to work for someone. Live your own dream. Have your own vision. Have your own passion. Because when you work for someone, whose dream are you accomplishing? Your employers, your companies. Their vision is going to be met with or without you. If you don't have a passion for your own upliftment, no one's going to come and uplift you. First, you have to have clarity. आप जिंदगी में चाहते क्या हैं? आपका passion क्या है? आपका जुनून क्या है? And once you know that, you'll always find a way to getting that uplifted. For me, I love engaging people. I love uplifting people. I love challenging people and I ask them lots and lots of questions and I dig deep कि उनका intent क्या है? वो क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्या कर रहे हैं? कैसे कर रहे हैं? And then I figure out a way that how can I help them get more success. So as a business owner, while I have a lot of success, being a realtor, being a team lead, but success to me means helping other people get clarity in their life. In the last 7-8 years, I've helped numerous people quit their jobs and quit corporate America and take the jump, take the leap, and join their own business, start their own company. And that's because they had the passion, the junoon to do that. But they had the fear. What if it fails? Tab kya hoga? And I sit down with them, tell them, and I break it down for them. What if analysis? And again, in my previous life, I worked for a top consulting company, Deloitte. They are the top consulting company in the world. This is what I did for a living. I would walk into organizations, companies, do a risk analysis, look at every control possible and how the control could be broken. I looked at processes like HR, treasury, accounting, and I would go in with the mindset, I got to find opportunities for this company or this department to do better. Try to find the problems in the system and process so that they can put checks and balances. And that mindset of being an auditor, that mindset brings so much clarity to me anytime I engage with a client or work with a team member. I still remember, this is back in 2014, when this was first year in the business. I won some awards. I won Remax Rising Star, GHP Realtor of the Year award. These awards were coming in. I had financial success, but I wanted to get exponential financial success. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos, inspirational videos, and there is a video of Jim Carrey. You should YouTube that. In that video, he's talking about when he was a nobody. He was just somebody who was getting into the Hollywood industry, and he went up a hill in California or Malibu somewhere. He saw a mansion of a house. He said, you know what, one day I'll be a millionaire. And what he did was he wrote himself a check, future dated check. And this was probably 5 or 7 years ahead of time, maybe 10 years ahead of time. And that at that time, he had not made that movie, Mask, which actually made him a known celebrity, the multi-millionaire or possibly multi-millionaire. And that envisioning and seeing that, you know what, one day I'm going to live in that kind of a home. One day I'll have exponential success. The visualization of his dream and vision was critical. And he would wake up every morning visualizing that. So here's what I did. I heard that podcast or the YouTube video that pushed a certain button in my mind or in my soul. And this was in 2015. I said, 2015 or 2016, somewhere over there. And I said, you know what? I want to get certain benchmark of success for myself. Not because I want the money in the bank, but something I can hold myself accountable to. I pulled out my company checkbook. I did not tell my business partner. Pulled out a checkbook and wrote a check to myself 3 years ahead of time for December 31st, 2020. Okay? The amount I wrote on the check was $1 million payable to myself, Kunal Seth. So December 31st was a future date, 3 years ahead of time. $1 million payable to Kunal Seth, signed by me from my own business partnership bank account. I took that check, put that on, and put that away. Nobody knew about it. Fast forward December 31st, 2020. I had a big New Year Eve party at my home, but I called my parents, my sister, of course, my business partner, my brother-in-law, Sonnet, and I called everyone to my home before the party started. And that year was incredible growth year for the Seth Brothers team. And I had everyone sit down, my mom, dad, my sister, brother-in-law, whole family. I said, you know what? 3 years back, when we were new in the business, I believed in myself. I believed in the talent that I have. And I had a vision. And this envelope over here, I'm going to open in front of you right now. And open the envelope and showed them. I wrote myself a check for $1 million payable to me. And today is December 31st. And guess what? I exceeded that goal, not just earning $1 million, but $1 million plus XXX. And that only happened because every day I would wake up, not because I want to make $1 million, but because I have something tangible to look forward to. And of course, I told my business partner, don't worry, Sonnet, I'm not going to deposit that check. And it was just symbolic, right? So there's certain things that I do for myself to drive myself, to make myself motivated, hungry. What are you doing to make yourself hungry? What are you doing to keep yourself motivated? We're in 2022 now. We all have been dealing with COVID-19 for the last 20, 24 months. Everyone has had some struggles, some mindset negativity, people losing their life or being sick, close ones and dear ones, and that is going to happen. आज COVID-19 है, कल कुछ और होगा. आप क्या कर रहे हैं आज to make yourself more successful? Again, you made all the way to America. आप 10 साल पहले आए, 20 years back आए, or you came 40 years back. You came with a lot of struggles. Or if you did not come, if you're born in America, your parents came or your grandparents came. Somebody came to America with a whole lot of nothing. And they made a whole lot of something out of nothing. What are you doing today? Are you going to your job every morning, 9 to 5, and following the rules of the world? No. This is one opportunity that we have. Blessing it is to be in America, to have an opportunity to do whatever you want to do. I know so many people who love being a hairstylist, and that can be a profession. You can be really successful over here. Back in India, आप क्या हैं? नाई की दुकान खोलोगे बेटा? क्या पेड़ के नीचे बैठना है? That's what you would get to hear if you told your parents you want to be a barber. Not in America. You can be a hairstylist. You can be a makeup artist. You can do whatever you want to do. So what are you doing today to live your dream, live your passion? My story is my story. And I'm sharing with you only because if I can move someone's mindset tonight to make you think you are successful, you are unstoppable, and only thing standing between you and your decision to taking control is you. Stop blaming COVID-19. Stop blaming the economy. Stop blaming your boss and stop blaming your employer. You have 100% control. Stop complaining. Take control and do whatever it takes. If you're not happy in Texas, बहुत गर्मी है, move to the north, man. Stop complaining. If it's too cold, move to the south. Come to Texas. Whatever it may be, you all have an opportunity. This is where lemons thrown at us. Whatever happens to us, you got to stay positive and get more success. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll share about other strategies you're going to need to be applying in 2022 to get exponential success so that you can leave abundance of wealth, abundant success for your next generation. You're listening into Lemonade with the Seth brothers. When life throws you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. Welcome back to the show, Lemonade with the Seth brothers. When life throws you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. Tonight in the studio, I have my business partner, not in person, but in bobblehead format. Sonnet Seth in the house. He's bobbing left, he's bobbing right, and so am I. Left to right and right to left. What are you saying? Are you saying a yes or are you saying a no? Indians, especially Desis, are notorious to talk in code language. You ask this question, हम मुंडी लाएंगे left to right. हाँ जी, क्या चल रहा है? सब ठीक ठाक है. You know, for Americans, that's alien. Are we saying a yes and no? So back in the day, in 2014, 15, we said we had to create some marketing buzz. So we made these bobbleheads with Sonnet on one side, me on the other side. And we make fun of ourselves. Yes, we had Bob, we do all these things, but it's about the right communication style. So when I was new in America, I would talk to my American friends and I would ask them a question. They would say, I said, dude, either you say yes or you say yeah. What's this business? And it was alien to me. Same way, when someone communicates with a Desi person and if they are certain kind of person who bobs ahead, these Americans think, bol kya raha hai? Ye haan bol raha hai, ye na bol raha hai. So in fact, we do a cultural training. It's called How to Decode and Win Cultural Buyers. And so on. And I travel nationwide. We train realtors, builder salespeople, other business owners, and salespeople. When you work with Desi cultural buyers, what's the best way to connect with them and do business with them? One thing I really am proud about being my Southeast Asian ethnic background is one thing is really important for us, which is if you want to win some business from a Desi person, yes, they ask for a discount, they want a deal, all those are imperative things. But the most important thing is they want to win your trust. अगर आपने किसी देसी क्लाइंट का ट्रस्ट एक बार ले लिया, then it's not just their business, their family members, their neighbors, they become advocates for you. But winning the trust of Desi people is not easy. It's not an easy task because as a realtor, when I work with Desi people, they want to come and see a home not one time but 100 times. They'll bring their uncle, they bring their auntie, the chacha, the kaki, and everyone would come in. Finally, they will make a decision of buying the home, but it's a group decision making process. So being of Indian ethnic background, I understand the values of having parents involved, grandparents involved, and everyone involved in the decision making process. Yes, they want to negotiate, they want to haggle on the commission, the price, and all those things. But at the end of it, they want to get a sense that I got a deal on this transaction, no matter what you sell. Yes, you can make them feel I'll give you 1% discount, 20% discount, whatever discount you give them. But if you can win their trust, then what amount of money you earn or commission you earn almost becomes irrelevant. So as you're building your success plan for 2022 and for many years to come to get the same thing I talked about before the break, which is getting financial independence, you've got to tap into your own skill sets, which you may have forgotten about applying your skill set of attracting buyers or clientele who is from Southeast Asia. Generally speaking, when I talk to business owners, they say, "Oof, एक और देसी बाहर आ गया, अब मेरा खोपड़ा खाएगा, या मुझसे ढंग से काम नहीं करेगा." And that's general perception. Yes, we're very needy, we ask a zillion questions, we doubt everything. But foundationally, we don't trust anyone. Back at home, we don't trust the legal system. Back at home, we don't trust the government. So everything is looked at with skepticism, right? Over here, the same people, when they come to buy a home, sell a home, or they want to do a transaction, work with an accountant, they always have that doubt कि ये मेरा कैसे बेवकूफ़ बनाएगा और कैसे मुझसे extra पैसा लेगा. So if you can develop skill sets to build trust with these clients, especially Desi clients, floodgates open up. Floodgates open up. For us, we did a lot of business in 2021, over 150 million in sales volume. We closed over 300 homes in 2021, and I would say, if not more, at least 80% of that clientele is Desi. Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, all these ethnic background people. And yes, initially demonstrating a value to them is a challenge. But once we demonstrate a value effectively and they trust us, they become lifetime partners for us. And those are values about knowing the culture, knowing those values is critical. So if you're second generation American or third generation, fourth generation, you were born and raised in America, as they say, A, B, C, D, American born, confused Desi, if you're one of them, you probably do not know the values, what we bring in India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, how we trained and groomed as a young kid to value our parents' opinion, to have respect for them. You could be 40-year-old or 50-year-old or 20-year-old kid. You can live with your parents as long as you want to. When your parents get old, they can live with you as long as they want to. They're not put into an old age home, which happens commonly in America. When in America, आप 20-year-old हुए, 21-year-old हुए, and your parents say, you know what, now be independent, step out of the home and get your own job, be independent. Well, that's a good skill set to have, but the same kid said, well, I was kicked out of the home at 20-year-old. Now, when I'll be older and you are older, it'll be okay for me to send you an old age home. Now, kids who are born and raised in America, the second, third generation Desis, they do not know these values. So what are you doing today to instill the same values in your kids and your grandkids? Because those values cannot be taught. They cannot be given in a textbook. It's what you're doing on a daily basis to instill those values. And for me, it's really important. My kids, who are young boys, 6 and 7-year-old, they spend a lot of time with their grandmother, with their grandfather. They go to the mandir, they do puja, they do all these things. Why? Because those values are best trained and taught by the parents or by the grandparents. When they eat the food, they're told, beta, you have to finish your burger or whatever they're eating because you have to finish what's on your plate. There's somebody somewhere who does not have enough food in their life or on their plate. So it's a blessing to have food. But it's these values that we were trained, coached on as young kids. We forget about them. So it's about how you're going to apply the first generation mindset. What does it mean to you? It may be the values that you were trained on or groomed with when you're back at home. when you learn them inherently. Hustle all the time. And India has 1.2, 1.3 billion people. It's a rat race no matter what you do. And you have to step on one another to get success. That's not the case over here. But that hunger and drive that was instilled in me when I grew up in India, that's still my core belief system. I take nothing for granted. I want to pass that on to the next generation. So, first generation mindset is not only about being the first one to come to America. First generation mindset is also about being the first one in your family to do something for the very first time. And when you do that for the very first time, the struggles, how are you going to pass that on to your kids or your grandkids? How are you going to tell them, aapne kya kiya tha, to accomplish those goals? And if that's not being communicated to your kids or your grandkids, they will take things for granted. So through this platform of Hum Radio 103.5, and we're on Facebook Live, I'm getting my voice heard and letting people share their opinions. So if you're listening in, you want to share your story, your struggles, first generation, whatever it may be, call the radio station. The number over here is 1-888 749 1035. Once again, it's 1-888 749 1035. And if you are shy, you don't want to be on the radio, and you want to call me directly, if you want to sit down with me and have me unfold for you what I have done well, what I've not done well, my challenges, my struggles in the last 7-8 years in real estate business, or since I came to America 20 years back, people who have cheated on me and how I dealt with them, I'm happy to share those stories with you. I'm all about sharing and making you more successful. So my direct cell phone number is 281-900-3816. Once again, it's 281-900-3816. Call me, text me anytime. I'll be happy to sit down with you and help you get more success in 2022. But if you want to call the radio station, get your voice heard, share your struggles, share your lemons, share whatever you had in life. Your struggles of first generation American, first one to step out and get a job, or first one in your family to come to a big town from a small town. Call the radio station and share the stories. The number again is 1-888-749-1035. But अगर आप शर्मा रहे हैं कि आपको रेडियो स्टेशन फ़ोन नहीं करना एंड आपको वन ऑन वन मुझसे बात करनी है, या आपको मेरे ऑफिस आके मेरे साथ बैठना है, and I'll get you some chai as well. I'll get you some chai and samosa. How about that? Call me, text me anytime. I'll be happy to sit down with you. What gets me excited is helping other people get more success. Success is not about having more money in the bank. पैसा आएगा जाएगा. वो कहते हैं कि हाथ की मैल है. It's not a big deal. Money will come. But if your intent is to help people, when you give with open arm, God, Allah, Bhagwan, Jesus Christ, whoever you believe in, will give you abundance of success. So if you want to shift your mindset about 2022, get geared up. You're a blessing. It's a blessing today. We all are healthy today. And last 2 years have been struggle for all of us. But 2022, shift your mindset. Get motivated. Get activated. And get in the right mindset. Having said that, as a leader in the Texas market, we spend a lot of time, effort, money in getting coached and trained. And over the years, Sonat and myself have hired multiple coaches who train us on a regular basis, help us get more motivated, fired up, and focused. And one of those people, his name is Thomas Blackwell. He's an international speaker, has written a best-selling book that it took him 10 years. Yes, you heard that right. It took him 10 years to write that book. It's all about change your language and change your life. So Thomas Blackwell, what's interesting about him is he has got 3 young daughters, and the last 5 years, he has lived in 95 homes. He's not a nomad. He has enough money, has a lot of success, but every few months, he moves from one city to the next city, and it's impacting people through his language, through his mindset, through his belief system, and he has helped millions of people at a global level. A few years back, he flew to Vietnam and trained people how to be more effective. Now, he does not teach you how to make money, but he teaches you the core philosophies of life, which is how you speak. अगर आप किसी से ढंग से बात करेंगे, even if it's 2 words of good morning, how are you doing, with the sincerity of how you really feel for them, that person would want to engage with you. Engagement leads to business, leads to success. But most people say, you know what? I don't have time to engage with you even effectively. So this person, Thomas Blackwell, he's a phenomenal speaker, phenomenal coach. And in fact, on Jan 26th, in about 2 weeks, he's coming to Houston. We bring him to Houston to impart his knowledge, impart his expertise to anyone in the local market. So if you're listening in, if you want to get rewired up and if you want to get charged up, motivated for 2022, come to our office. Attend his session. It's going to cost you nothing but your time. His time spent to come to Houston, we are paying for it. And we're adding value to the Houston market. I'm telling you, I've heard him speak so many times. Every time I hear Thomas Blackwell speak, he is motivational, he's inspirational. He gets me thinking in a different level of mindset. And that simple twist or simple adjustment that I'm making in 2022 is going to bring exponential success to me, my family, my team, and my household. So if you're listening in tonight, if you have some time, make time on Jan 26 from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. In fact, guess what? I'll feed you lunch as well. Aur kya chahenge aap? Come get coached for free. This person does not come for free. We're paying him a lot of money to come to Houston, but our belief system is this. If we can add value to the Houston market, let people get coached, trained, get better in their business, in their life, they're going to be thankful to us. If they're thankful to us, guess what they will do? They'll probably like me or my team more than they liked before. If you like me, one day you will trust me. If you like and trust me, maybe one day you'll do business with me. I don't pursue a transaction success based on asking for a sale. I pursue opportunity by adding value to people. That's exactly what we're doing in our office on Jan 26. So if you're listening in, I would highly recommend make time on Jan 26 for 2 hours. Come to our office. We'll have lunch provided, but this speaker is an international speaker. People travel at a global level to hear him talk, and he is phenomenal. If it does not cost you anything, it only costs you time. Come to our office. Our office is in Sugarland on 14090 Southwest Freeway, Suite 500. That's where we are at in Sugarland 77478. So if you're listening in tonight, text me. I'll be happy to get you a ticket for free to come and listen to Thomas Blackwell on Jan 26 from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Again, you should Google search him. Go to YouTube search him. Thomas, last name Blackwell, Blackwell. He's an international speaker, has written a book, and he is phenomenal. He moved my life last October when I heard him talk for the first time. It's a slight adjustment, how I speak, how I interact, how grateful I should be to anyone who even fills up the water bottle in our office. Every person who is touching your life, directly or indirectly, how you speak with them, how you acknowledge their hard work, brings the best out of them. And especially if you are running your own business, you have employees who work for you, they've got to feel loved. They got to feel appreciated. And this 2 hour session will give you insight, give you strategies, what you could apply in a simple 1-2 step process that can get you success. In fact, he talks about how to improve your relationship with your spouse or your friends. And applying those things can certainly bring more happiness in your life. And 2022, if you're happier and if you're content, positive mindset, success will come. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the success. Chase positive mindset that comes directly or indirectly by being around the right people. So I'm going to recap for you again. Jan 26th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Come to our office. I'll give you a free ticket. Text me your name and number. I'll get you a free ticket tomorrow. My cell phone number is 281-900-3816. The guest speaker who's going to be there on that afternoon is Thomas Blackwell. Thomas, last name Blackwell, Blackwell. Google search him, YouTube search him. He is an incredible, fantastic speaker. It's going to cost you nothing but your time. But those 2 hours, I can promise you, if you leave that meeting and say, you know what, bakwas thi, mujhe kuch mila nahi, I will write you a check of $100. How about that? How about that? I'm so confident that if you come to that meeting, you'll get something of value and you walk away winning with your smile. Well, that could be a game changer for you for the rest of the year, for the rest of your life. So get engaged. Come to the session on Jan 26. Text me 281-900-3816. Before we wrap up this show tonight, I'll recap for you. Success does not come from chasing money. It comes from having the mindset. Success is all about having financial success. Financial success must lead to financial independence, which is where you have passive income, other opportunities that you can take vacation, do what you want to do. But financial freedom could take a lifetime, could take a decade, could take forever to get there. But we all should be striving towards getting financial freedom. And to get financial freedom, you have to take steps today, no matter how old you are. If you're 20-year-old, 50-year-old, or 7-year-old. Jo bhi aaj radio ko sun rahe hai aaj. Does not matter what age profile you're in. We should all be striving towards getting financial freedom. But starts at a simple step of having the right mindset, having the right attitude. And to get that attitude, maybe you are internally not wired correctly. Have an external force help you get realigned and get motivated. And for that, we have Thomas Blackwell coming to Houston on Jan 26 in Sugar Land. I'll give you a free ticket. The ticket costs $100. I'll give it to you for free. It's only going to cost you a time to get there. But those 2 hours can change your life. Will get you better, will get you more motivated, fired up, and get you in a positive mindset. No matter where you are, what you do, we all want to get uplifted and get positive attitude. If your mind is right, your life will be right. And we all want to make our life right. So again, call me, text me, 281-900-3816. We have Thomas Blackwell coming to our office on Jan 26 from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'll even serve you lunch. What else can you ask for? So again, tune in tonight. Thanks for joining in. You're listening to Lemonade with the Seth Brothers. We'll be back next week. But stay tuned and text me if you want to be in the show or share your stories, share your struggles. And it's all about having the right mindset. The right mindset is the first generation mindset. And when life throws you lemons, what do? You make lemonade.